Misa. Hope everybody's doing good. I want to say hello. I just had to come out here because I'm out here in my tent right now. It was brought some. Okay, God told me to come out here. Okay, but believe it or not. Okay, so I came out here. I was burning a little bit of sage, right? And I was just sitting out here, and I just got back from school, so I'm sort of don't have any makeup on. So anyway, I hope everybody's having a beautiful Tuesday, and everybody's doing their affirmations. And so I was out here doing a little bit of purification and cleansing for my ancestors, and I was asking them for clarification and purification, all that good stuff, right? So I'm coming out here because there's things that they wanted me to talk about. Energy, right? Energy, vibration, matter, so that's why I'm here to talk to you about that. You see, God keeps putting it in my heart to keep speaking about what happened to me, and that's the only reason why I keep coming over here and repeating it, because of the simple fact that God's telling me to. Because if I do this, then it will free a lot of other people, or have them wake up so that they know what's going on, right? And a lot of us, like, I had no idea about energy. I had no idea about energy vampires. I had no idea about people siphoning energy. I had no idea what I had no idea what destiny swapping was. I had no idea what energy vampirism was. I had no idea honestly. I didn't really realize that hexes and vex and all that stuff were actually real. I heard about witchcraft, but I never knew that it was really to that extent, to where people actually have covens and do sex magic, and you know what I mean, have altars with people's pictures, and yeah, that happened to me and stuff like that. I didn't know that was actually real. I had no idea that was actually real. See, and the reason I keep talking about this is because God keeps telling me to talk about it, to keep speaking about it, because it's real. It is really real. And before my spiritual awakening, I had no idea about hexes and curses, and I had no idea about energy and destiny swapping, and I had no idea about any of this. This was so new to me, right? I had no idea. And it was weird because my whole life, when I was going through life, I would see peculiar things going on, like with the people around me, and I never questioned it. I never said anything, because I just thought to myself, I'm not battling anybody, okay, guys? So I just thought to myself, okay, this destiny swapping, this energy, vampirism, and all that, I didn't even know that was real until just recently, and until I got my spiritual awakening. And when I got my spiritual awakening, I came to find out what all that is. Did y'all know that a lot of us that are like the remnant, and I keep talking about this, but I'm going to keep talking about it because God tells me to come out here and speak about it. I'm going to keep speaking about it because it's the truth. And I'm not the only one that this is happening to. If you are awakened, if you're spiritually awakened, and if you find out that you are chosen, a remnant of the Most High, right? If you know that, and you know that in your heart, and you're following God and the path, right? Then you find out about energy work and all that stuff, right? About what the government does, about what the politicians do, about officials, about everybody, exes, celebrities, they all of them, they all do that, right? um See, I honestly didn't know about any of this until just recently, like I said. So the energy work that I wanted to share with y'all. Do you know how people can take your energy without you knowing, just by them arguing with you? And I know this sounds really stupid, but if someone argues with you, or say they come and they bother you or they harass you, and you start arguing with them, you give them your energy. And I had no idea. Can y'all tap the screen, please, if y'all are here? If y'all, please do that for me. So anyway, I didn't know about this, and I remember a couple of my exes would sit there and argue with me like crazy, and I had no idea why they were arguing with me. Well, every time they argue with me and I would argue back, they would siphon my energy. Those are ways of people siphoning your energy. Hold on, guys. And I didn't know that. I had no idea. So I'm telling y'all right now that I'm not the only person. They do this also to children. Children have a very pure energy, right? And a lot of this is 18 and over. Please don't freak out on me, TikTok. And the thing is that a lot of the children, when they're young, they get their energy siphoned as well, right? It's sort of sad because I never knew about it. So there's people right now as we speak that are living off of my energy. A lot of the other remnant, chosen, 144, whatever you want to call it. Okay, the people that have stepped into their calling for the Most High God. Okay, so all those people, since they were little, have been getting their energy siphoned, by either family members, exes. It could be higher ups, officials. They usually make deals. And I'm saying this because if you are a chosen, or you are a remnant, or you are walking with God and you're working for the light, you should know whether or not your energy has been siphoned. Remnant, or you are walking with God and you're working for the light, you should know whether or not your energy has been siphoned, or whether you have sacrificed you. Like try to siphon your energy to gain fortune and fame. And if that all that's true, I didn't believe it. I had no idea until I had my spiritual awakening. So if you are working for the Most High God and you do carry that light, right? Y'all need to know that this is real. Spiritual warfare is so real. Hexes, vexes, witchcraft, all that is real. I don't do dark magic. I don't do witchcraft. I don't do anything towards anybody, because that is karma that comes back to you. Whether you're paying for it or or the person that's doing it, you shouldn't do that, because that comes back to you. So yeah, I have to say this again because God has put this in my heart to say this again. They have been siphoning my energy. My uncle, my cousins, my family, my exes. A lot of them have been siphoning my energy for years because they knew I was chosen. If you're chosen and you're one of the remnant, then your mom or your dad or whoever, they know if you are chosen. And if they don't tell you, it's usually because they're taking advantage of you in some way or shape or form. And what they do is they siphon off your energy. They'll use your good energy, and they keep you oppressed, and they monetarily, mostly it's monetarily where they gain. As of right now, God is taking care of all the things that have happened to me. I mean, I'm not even going to, I could just say it like this. I'm not worried about it. I know I've heard about people on the way over here to try to come unalive me. I really don't care, because God will stop that the minute they even try to get near me. See, I have the utmost belief, it's beyond belief, the utmost knowing that the Most High God has me. And if you work for the light and you are truly obedient to your calling, you know that God will protect you in everything that you do. God has put it in my heart, I'll protect you. I'll do what I believe the Most High God. I really do. And the Father within, the God within. Like I said, we all have divinity inside if we choose to walk our temple path, awaken, and find out who we really are. We all truly do have divinity inside us. Like I was saying, so a lot of the chosen, they get siphoned for their energy since they're little. Like I said, I heard about some tactics about being unalived, and that someone's on the way to come try to unalive me. It's not going to matter, because it's not going to happen. There's a lot of people that have stolen from me, not just energy, money, inheritance, homes, like things that I have had put away from me have been stolen from me, and I'm not the only person. They've been doing this to a lot of the people of the light. Whether you're young, you're old, you're a child, especially the children. I cannot express that enough about the children. Children have a very pure light to them, okay? And when that's why you hear about all that trafficking and stuff going on. It's because they're siphoning the energy and their essence of the children. They're siphoning the essence like of the chosen, the remnant, and that is really, really true. If y'all could share my video, please, or like it if y'all are there. Y'all are all there. I mean, can y'all please do that? Tap the screen if y'all can. Anyway, so like I was saying, I just want to let y'all know that it's real. This is real. This is not. People will sit there all day long and say, I don't believe in that stuff, so it's not going to harm me. Well, see, that's the thing where people have their eyes closed because they don't want to acknowledge what's real. And there's nothing to be scared of. We're all spirit, before we're flesh, right? So we have to understand that there is people out there that are not very nice, that do have plans on being powerful, rich, whatever you want to call it. It's true. There's people out there that are like that. And before I was awakened, I was constantly tired. I was constantly being taken advantage of. It wasn't from an ex. It was from a family member. It was for a friend. I was always, always feeling tired. I never got to do anything with myself because I was too busy giving to somebody else. As soon as I cut every single person off, I cut everybody off from my family. I started to prosper. I just got my entrepreneurship. I'm going for my business communications. You know what I mean? I'm healthy. I'm happy. I'm at peace. I'm not worried about anything. God has already assured me that everything, He's got me. You know what I mean? And it's not so much about having millions of dollars, but to me, it's my peace and knowing that I'm going to be okay. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm at that point right now where there's nothing that nobody or nothing can tell me something or try to take away my peace, because I really don't care. Because if God's already assured me where I am with Him, then why would I care what anybody else thinks, right? So what I'm trying to tell you is, y'all need to, if y'all are still living worldly, which is like partying and people pleasing, that's really the number one thing. Worldly, which is like partying and people pleasing, that's really the number one thing, is people pleasing. If y'all are still people pleasing, not so much drinking and partying, but more of like worried about what everybody else thinks and giving your energy and your time to others. Now, if you have a significant other or your kids, I'm not talking about that. But if your significant other is expecting you to do more than you can do for yourself, then that's a problem. Because in this day and age, we gotta love ourselves before we step out to love anybody else. And right now, that's where I'm at. I'm right now at that point where I'm trying to just love on myself and just be okay with myself, because nobody else outside of me is going to love me the way I love me, right? And God within. Like I said, all of us have divinity. We choose to walk in that divinity. And if you choose not to, then you choose not to. I'm just saying, like, everybody that has done me wrong, like from my family members to my exes to even strangers that are trying to do stupid things to me, right? Even them, like whoever, like I'm telling you, God has a barrier around me, protection, and nothing is going to touch me, no matter who it is or who you think you are. I mean, I don't care, and I'm not threatening you. It's the truth. It's not a threat. It's the truth. It's the truth. That's who I am with God. I mean, it's like nothing is going to come between me and the Most High. I don't care who it is. I serve the Most High God. I'm here for a purpose. A lot of us have came back as reincarnations to uplift humanity and uplift the vibration of this earth, right? And a lot of people think it's a joke, and it's really not. It's real. We're fighting every day a spiritual battle with dark and light. There's people that of the world that just want money and power and to be popular, and there's people that just want peace and love and to be happy and camaraderie with each other. And it's so hard because in this world, that's the struggle. The worldly things, or the things that the Most High wants us to invest in, which is ourselves, which is our family, if we're close to our family. In my case, I don't. My family is God. I'm not really close. If we're close to our family, in my case, I don't. My family is God. I'm not really close to family. My kids is one thing, but like my mom, my brothers, my sisters, I talk to my mom. Hi, how are you? But that's as far as it goes. We aren't sitting there like hanging out or anything. It's never been like that with me and my family. I've always been the black sheep. And if you've been a black sheep, then you know what I'm talking about. So I just want to let y'all know that. Hold on, let me see. I got a flash go, guys. So I just want to let everybody know. So my flash goal is 3 gifters. If y'all could send me a rose, that would be awesome, please, guys. Um, I just want to let everybody know that the spiritual warfare is real. I'm a product of it. Like before, when I would drink and party and do all this stuff, that wasn't the Most High God. It's okay, but it's always going to be like that. It's always going to be this way, man. And then once I turned around and I changed for the better and I started walking my temple path, people are sort of upset about it, and everybody hates on me, and I really don't give a damn who. I don't care what I'm put it right real quick. I don't care what anybody says about me. Everybody in my past, I leave them in my past, because my past was the person I used to be. I am no longer that person. The person I am now, I'm not about that life. I'm not saying, to each his own, but that's something that I choose. I haven't talked to any of my exes. It's been over a year. Any of them, 2 years maybe. Everybody from my past, I've cut off. There's nobody I speak to. I heard about all the stuff they were doing, about the unaliving, about the, insurance fraud, about everybody trying to use my name, about the theft. And I said, you know what, God, I'm just going to give it to you, and you take care of it, because I personally care and crazy on people. Care of it, because I personally care and crazy on people, knowing that I'm trying to walk my path with you. And that all that energy harvesting that they do, that stuff is real, guys. Y'all need to really look into that energy harvesting. When people harvest your energy, they'll do it by having, like, when you have sex with somebody, a man and a female, the man takes a woman's essence, and that's the sacral, and it's very. Women do not understand how special our essence and our sacral is. When men and women, have intercourse, they intertwine their energy, and they take their sacral energy from them. And then the woman is, stuck, drained, while the man is carrying around her essence. And then what they do is they use it for themselves. Like, you'll see them, they look a little happier, more energy, is because they've taken all the female's essence. Unless it's something that they're both at the same level, where they both are high vibrational, have good energy, then that's one thing. But if it's where the point where the woman is high vibrational and she's walking her path, but he isn't, then that's going to be a problem. But what he's doing is he's siphoning all her energy and her essence, and he's taking it, and she is left with nothing, while he's, getting. It's like essence. It's a good essence, like. She has pure essence, and he takes it from her. What he's doing is he's taking her essence and he's using it for himself. See, like, for example, my ex, I didn't know that he was taking my essence and my energy and my sacral, and he was using it for himself to prosper financially, and I never saw any of that money. Like, he bought me stuff from Temu, and he would buy me like $10 things from Temu and stuff, and he only did that like twice. And everything that he gave me, he would take it back, and he would kick me out. But anyway, who cares? I don't even care about it. That's just an example. I'm trying to just tell y'all, like, and if a person knows what they're doing, then let me tell you something. They will take advantage of that. I was not awakened when he did this to me. I was not awakened. It was actually three of my exes that did this to me, and I had no idea, because my mom never told me that I was a chosen child. My mom never told me that I was special, like that I had a special purpose for God. My mom never told me. None of my family told me, but they all knew, right? So me growing up, I'm blind to all this. So while all these partners that I had were taking my essence and my energy, and I was stuck with, I was left with nothing. Like I was drained. I had no money. And this last guy that I had over 2 years ago that I was with, he totally knew what my purpose was. He knew my destiny, and what he did was for like 2-3 years, he was just taking my essence. He was taking my energy. He had money hidden. Supposedly, I think he has offshore accounts somewhere. And then I didn't even know that my uncle and my cousins and my aunt, all of them were using my energy. I was supporting families with my energy and my essence while I am drained. Right now, I don't have a home. I don't have a car. I don't have a job. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that because, oh, boo-hoo me. I'm saying that because this is real. And now God is replenishing me. I'm getting back. God's giving me back what was taken from me. And I'm grateful to the Most High God. I'm getting back everything that was taken from me. And I just want y'all to know that this is real. Like, women need to understand how sacred their energy is, their essence, especially if you have intercourse. Just don't give yourself away to just anybody, because men will take advantage of that. And if they know about energy and siphoning and your sacral essence, and if they know about that and you don't, then you're screwed, because they're going to sit there and just use you. And see, I don't know if y'all know about energy. I do, because when I got my spiritual awakening, I found out what that was. How it's very important for a woman to value herself, to have, value herself to the fullest, unless you're gonna marry that person. And I know I've been with guys before I wasn't married with. I've been celibate over 2 years, and I'm not planning on being with anybody unless I'm going to marry that individual. And I made that promise to the Most High and to myself as well. So, understand that, this is real. It's real. The spiritual warfare is real. The siphoning of people's energies, especially the children, that, they're so young and pure. They have real pure energy. A lot of the occults siphon their energy. A lot of the, I don't want to say it. I'm trying to be careful with my words, because I don't want TikTok to sort of, when you have donors of organs in the hospital, okay, well, put that and just say the occults, you get it? Occults were into that. They siphon energy like that. They siphon unaliving people for that reason, okay? And they pay a lot of money for that. I was one of those that that's what they wanted from me, and it wasn't going to happen either. There's a lot of things going on right now where a lot of systems are breaking down and crumbling, and as so they should, because the Most High God is here to collect off whoever has been oppressing all the people of the light, all the children. A lot of the trafficking, whether it be, it's another thing, you have women trafficking because of the woman's essence, of their sacral. So what they were doing is they use the women like that. And also, like the children trafficking, it's horrible, and a lot of them are celebrities. Yes, a lot of celebrities, if you see now, a lot of celebrities are going down. Either they're losing their money, they're losing their career, they're losing, they're sick, they're dying. You're seeing a lot of celebrities as of lately. They're going down like deer, or that way. Also, the you have dark occults. A lot of the government officials. A lot of that is crumbling, and it's going to keep crumbling till God makes it right, and that's what's going to happen. Y'all just need to be mindful, especially the females out there. Please be mindful of who you sleep with, because a lot of these men, not just men, I mean, I'm just even the men, like the men that do have, that are following the temple path, and they're also sacred. You're, but the woman's is sacred because our sacral is sacred because we're the ones that make creation. We're the creators. We have creation in our sacral, okay? So that we're the creators of, we're the ones that have creation. And what happens is when they siphon your energy, your sacral, they siphon that creation energy, and they take it for themselves, and they use it. And I know firsthand, because that's what happened with me with my last boyfriend. He was doing that, and I had no idea he was doing that. Put it this way, I want to give you an example. I was menstruating right when I was still with him, or whatever, and I would, I would take out my, my sanitary napkins, and I put them in the toilet, in the trash. I'd come back and they'd be gone. Well, little did I know that he was keeping them, and that's disgusting. But I'm just letting y'all know, because this is an example of truth. Okay, I'm being honest. Everything I say is all true. I have nothing to lie about. You know, he was using them for his rituals. Him and that person that he was working with, that stuff is really real. I just need to know, because it's really real. Okay, it's just really sad, because I wasn't aware of this till after I had my spiritual awakening. See, he knew my destiny. He knew who I was before I knew who I was, and he took advantage of that. He didn't dare tell me anything. He kept me just in the dark until I had my spiritual awakening, and that's when I left him, because I found out that this dude was doing all this stuff to me. You know what I mean? And it was like, what? And also to my family as of right now, they all know who I am. They know what my purpose is for God. They didn't tell me. They didn't tell me either about my purpose, that I was special, because I had a special journey that I had to fulfill for God. They didn't tell me either. They didn't tell me. Instead, they siphoned energy off me. Instead, they siphoned, my creativity, and they oppressed me like crazy. And I mean, I'm awake now. I'm awake now. I know who I am now. I know I have a purpose now. And there's no celebrity, no government official, no ex, no best friend. No one is going to stop me from what my purpose is. I don't care who it is, and I don't care how much money you got. I don't care. And I'm just letting the people in the back know. And as of right now, I know what I'm speaking to. There's probably somebody in the back doing their rituals and their, hexes. And I don't really care, because I'm protected. And I just want people to know, y'all need to stop doing all those hexes and witchcraft and stuff, because that comes back to y'all. That is not good. That is not good. You cannot alter somebody else's life. You can't be doing that. That's like a big freaking no-no. I just needed to come out here and say this, because God keeps telling me you need to keep speaking about your truth. And like a lot of times, like I don't know, a lot of women out there, men, y'all are trying to pay for work, like hexing work, or hexes, or love, or come back to me spells. And don't do that. That's altering somebody else's life. That's, if a person doesn't want to be with you, they don't want to be with you. I'm not trying to sound ugly or heartless. But if you're trying to make somebody come back with you, then what is the purpose? Because they don't really want to be with you. You're making them be with you. That's altering their life and altering their state of mind, when in reality, they don't love you out of their heart. They love you because you put a spell on them. You see what I'm saying? And you don't want to be with anybody who doesn't really love you. You don't want to be with anybody that you're going to make love you. You want to be with somebody who really loves you. And then another thing, when you keep doing those spells, when you constantly do those spells, they backfire, and then you end up getting all that, everything you wished on them to love you, it backfires on you, and you become obsessed with that person, and that person wants nothing to do with you. So you need to be careful whatever you do, like, also like having people do poverty spells. What happens if you're the one that, like, if say for instance, I would go and, I want this person to be broke, I'm gonna do so they can never have money, and you go pay somebody to do that. What happens is, it goes back to you, and you end up being in poverty. That stuff, people need to stop doing that. And the reason why a lot of these, like right now as I'm speaking, a lot of these Warlocks and witches are pissed off of me. They want to unalive me because I'm telling y'all the truth. I'm speaking nothing but truth. I have no reason to lie to y'all. And I'm telling y'all this because I'm not going to sit there and sit back and what was done to me could be done to somebody else when I can help somebody out there. A lot of times, they'll keep telling you, oh, this person's doing this, just so they can keep taking your money. And you keep giving them the money and keep giving them the money. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just need to let that person go and heal. And if somebody makes you mad, or you get jealous and envy and hate are the number one things why people do hexes and spells. And that's something that we need to start looking at ourselves. Why am I pissed off? Why do I want to get this spell on this person? Why do I want to do this? Because you're upset because you're not healed in some way. You have to, sit back and you know what I mean? That I know that hate and love and jealousy and envy will never go away in this world. But if I can give y'all some kind of knowledge so that y'all know that, you know what I mean? Y'all need to be paying people to do spells, and you don't need to be paying people, to do hexes on other people. Deal with the pain and go past it, because if not, it comes right back to you. And of course, all these hex, all these all these practitioners and people that do black magic, they're not gonna tell you that, and they can't stand me because I'm telling y'all the truth, and that is the truth. I'm being so honest with y'all. Don't go out and pay to make anybody love you. Don't go out and pay to make anybody unalive anybody. Don't go out and pay anybody to make them broke, because all that comes back to you. Y'all need to start looking into universal laws. The boomerang effect. Whatever you throw out comes back to you. Whatever intentions you throw out, they come right back to you. And I mean, it's the truth, so you have to start learning how to balancing like what it is. And it's hard, because if you're not awakened, if you're not awakened, you're not awakened. But I'm hoping with the sound of my voice and the vibration that I'm sending out to everybody in this world right now, that y'all hear me, that somebody picks up something, that somebody will learn or just snap about something. Don't let men or women take your essence or steal your creativity, especially the females, because our sacral, that's our creativity. When they take that from you and they drain you, they carry that with them, and you're left without nothing. And as for like justice prevails no matter what. God's vengeance is way better than ours. And as we speak, karma is being served, justice is being served on my behalf. It's just the universal laws. Like, you know what I mean? If I go and I'm hurting and doing, hex spells and unalive spells on people for 10, 20 years straight, you think that's not going to come back to me? Of course it's going to come back to me. It's going to come back to me no matter what. Maybe not that day, maybe not that month, maybe not that year, but it's going to come back, and it's going to come back full force, depending on how many you're doing, I guess. And if it's not enough for this lifetime, you'll come back in the next lifetime, and you'll keep paying for it until the universe sees fit that you paid enough of your karma that you sent out. And that's real. So I just real quick cap on what's going on with me. I'm good. I'm at peace. I'm happy. I'm working on my other certificate, and I'm hoping everybody out there is healthy, happy, wealthy, wise. It just, y'all gotta confirm and put in your heart, all of us are beautiful, wonderful people. And just because someone else doesn't tell you, you don't need validation from anybody but yourself and the Most High. Feel good and be happy for yourself, not for anybody else in this world. Because when we go, no one goes with us. When we die, no one judges us but the Most High and you. And I used to be a people pleaser. I used to live just for everybody else. Oh, I gotta make this person happy. Screw that. I don't do that shit anymore, because what difference is, at the end of the day, what do I got? I have nothing to show for all these guys that I used to be with, that I loved, that I cared for so much, that I took care of, that I gave my all to. What do I got in return? I have absolutely nothing. Yeah, I have 3 kids. I love my kids. That's the only good thing I got out of my kids. Other than that, mostly all my relationships, they were more of me giving than them giving me. I was the one that was giving more of myself, like 85% in all my relationships. I gave myself more than they gave me ever. And it was just because I love love. I believe in love. I know love wins over everything. But you got to be careful who you love, because just because you want love doesn't mean that the first person that you love is the right one for you. you know. And another thing I learned, I mean, I have to love myself more than anything and take care of myself before I can love anybody else outside of me. And that's the truth. You know, God has been teaching me so much since my spiritual awakening. And for the record, I do not do dark magic on anybody. I don't think anybody should do that. No one should do no spells, no none on nobody. You know what I do? I do rituals like to my ancestors and stuff, like my native ancestors, you know, the ones from Egypt, the ones from, you know, the Asian. I have a lot of ancestors. We all have ancestors, all of us. It's whether we acknowledge it or not that we you know take a hold of it and go with it, right? I do rituals like I'll burn incense and I'll burn rosemary. I burn, you know, Palo Santo, stuff like that, you know, and you know, I blow it into the air, and you know, I light candles, but I always speak for peace in this world. I speak for protection over all the children in this world. You know, I don't do anything negative. I've learned that in the universal laws, you know, stuff like that, you cannot do that. You know, you can, but you better get ready for the wrath that comes afterwards, right? So I just wanted to come on here, and because I hadn't been on here in a little bit, I just wanted to come on here just to, you know, talk about that, because God keeps telling me to speak my truth. And yes, I'm grateful to the Most High God. You know, all the glory and honor goes to the Most High and everything. He's what gave me my awakening. He changed my life. He made me sober. He made me aware. He made me to value myself, you know, to, you know, honor myself and not care what anybody else thinks. Look for validation in myself and not anybody else. And everybody else needs to do the same thing. You know, we need to become one with ourselves before we can look outside ourselves and want, you know, appreciation or you know, gratitude from anybody else. I really don't care what anybody else thinks. I know who I am in the Most High God. I know what I'm here for, and there's nobody and nothing in this world is going to stop me from living my purpose and my mission. So I just wanted to tell everybody that I hope everyone's having a beautiful Tuesday, and I just wanted to come out here and speak about that. And I hope everybody stays safe, and everybody do your affirmations, pray. Don't forget the God within, or divinity within. We all have divinity if we choose so to walk the temple path. You know that, you know, don't look for validation outside of yourself. It's all in here, okay, guys? And I just want to tell you, I just want to come here and tell y'all that. And it's getting dark out here, so I will talk to y'all again soon. And I love everybody, and I forgive all my haters. But y'all need to go heal. Haters, go heal. Go heal, okay? I love y'all. I forgive y'all. Just don't bother me anymore, please. You know. Okay. Well, y'all have a good night, guys. I love y'all. Bye.